There comes a moment in every man's life when silence speaks louder than words, when your absence becomes more powerful than your presence. And it's in this silence, this pulling away, this deliberate detachment, that a woman begins to feel something she never thought she'd feel: uncertainty, confusion, a hollow space where your energy used to be. You see, we live in a world where people often take presence for granted. You give and give, hoping she'll see the depth of your loyalty, your patience, your availability. But sometimes, the more available you are, the more invisible you become. And the moment you begin to reclaim your time, your energy, and your dignity, she starts to notice. She starts to worry. Not because you threatened to leave, not because you caused a scene, but because your peace, your silence, your shift whispers to her soul in a language no words can ever translate. When a woman feels like she has your time on tap, when she knows that with a single message you'll come running, she stops seeing the value in your presence. She doesn't do it to be cruel, it's just human nature. We often don't appreciate what's always within reach, so when you start withdrawing, not out of manipulation but out of self-respect, she'll feel it deeply. The same woman who once delayed replying to your messages will now keep refreshing her inbox. The same woman who once thought she had you wrapped around her finger will begin to question if you've slipped through hers. Because it's not that you're gone. It's that your energy has shifted. You're no longer begging to be seen. You've become intentional with your silence. And silence, when it comes from a man who used to speak, hits different. This is not about playing games. No. This is about evolution. It's about choosing yourself. It's about becoming a man who doesn't need validation from someone who failed to recognize your worth when you were pouring into her. It's about realizing that your presence is a privilege, not a punishment. You spent nights waiting on calls that never came, rereading messages, trying to find meaning, showing up for someone who was never fully there. But today that changes. Today you rise, not to hurt her, not to teach her a lesson, but to honor yourself, to pull your energy back like the tide, to become unavailable, not because you're angry, but because you're healing. And the moment she feels your absence, the moment she senses that she's no longer the center of your world, that's when the worry begins. You see, women are intuitive. They feel before they understand. They sense the shift before they can name it. When you go quiet, when your name doesn't light up her screen anymore, when your eyes no longer search for hers across the room, she will feel it. And in the quiet hours of the night, when her mind begins to race and her heart begins to question, she will think of you, not the version of you that begged, not the one that stayed too long trying to fix what was already broken, but the version that walked away with dignity, the version that chose peace over chaos. That man becomes unforgettable. That man becomes the echo in her silence. And here's the beauty of it all. You didn't need to shout. You didn't need to explain. You didn't need to prove your worth. Your absence did that for you. It's in the way you stopped chasing. It's in the way you started focusing on your own growth, your purpose, your healing. You started going to the gym not to impress her, but to rebuild your strength. You started reading books not to sound smart, but to find wisdom. You've started showing up for yourself in a way that she never could. And now she sees the difference. She sees the glow. She hears the silence, and it's deafening because she remembers the man who used to show up, and now she wonders where he went. She wonders who he's becoming. She wonders if she ever truly knew you at all. What makes a woman worry is not the man who pleads. It's the man who evolves. It's the man who disappears into himself only to emerge wiser, calmer, stronger. It's the man who no longer needs her to feel whole. That's what shakes her. Because suddenly the power dynamic has shifted. You are no longer the man waiting to be chosen. You've become the man who chooses. And in your absence, she begins to reflect on the things she said, the moments she dismissed you, the times she thought you'd never walk away. And now that you have, she's left in a space of questioning. Not because you made her feel small, but because you made yourself feel whole. She starts stalking your social media, listening to the songs you post, trying to decode your silence. Because silence, from a man who used to care, is not just quiet. It's a message. A message that says, I'm no longer available for crumbs. I'm no longer at the mercy of your indecision. That message hits differently when it comes from someone who once showed you everything. And the longer you stay grounded in your peace, the more she will feel it. That worry will grow, not from guilt, but from realization. She'll realize that what she once had is no longer hers to claim. That the access she enjoyed is now restricted. And what's restricted becomes desirable. This speech isn't to make you arrogant. It's not to make you bitter. It's to make you aware. Aware of the power you hold when you stop chasing and start building. When you stop reacting and start responding. When you stop explaining and start elevating. A woman begins to worry when she sees a man rise. When she sees him become silent, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. When she realizes that she no longer gets to be a chapter in your book, but merely a footnote in your story. And that's okay, because your story was never meant to revolve around one person. You were always the author. You just forgot for a moment that you held the pen. So walk away without anger, withdraw without bitterness, grow without needing to be seen. Let your life become the loudest message. Let your healing speak for you. Let your silence echo the pain you once felt but no longer hold. And let her worry, not because you're punishing her, but because you're finally prioritizing you. That's when she'll feel it. That's when the questions will come. That's when the weight of your absence will settle into the spaces your presence once filled. Because a woman doesn't truly worry when you speak, she worries when you stop. When the man she once thought she understood becomes a mystery she can no longer solve. And in those moments, don't turn back. Don't respond to the sudden check-ins. Don't chase the breadcrumbs of regret. Stay true to your path. Because if she couldn't see your value when you were trying, she doesn't deserve your value now that you're rising. Let her worry, let her wonder, let her feel what it's like to lose access to something she never thought she'd lose. And remember, this isn't revenge, it's revelation. The revelation that you are always enough. You are always worthy. You were just pouring into the wrong place. And now that you've pulled back the right people, the ones who see you will find you. You're no longer chasing love. You're attracting peace. And that's what makes her worry. Not that you're gone, but that you've finally seen your worth.